The following story that you're going to be listening to, it is a continuation of that message that was sent to me by our admin. The story continues like this. So this is how I ended up doing money making rituals. African Confessions, I am back. So this man that was said to be a powerful traditional healer called Lipo. That is how I ended up meeting him. Lipo was a traditional healer who was also said to perform magic tricks. There were a lot of prophets and business people that used to throng his place to get protection as well as to call their customers. Yes, most of these pastors, when they go to seek out these charms, they do not say that they are pastors. They say that they are into business, and the assets that they have is the gospel that they will be preaching, and they will be selling the gospel to their customers, and those people that come to worship at their church are the customers. This is what I met when I went to visit this traditional healer. His place was full of these people that were seeking to get protection as well as to boost their businesses. It would not hurt just to recover my truck and the bells that I had lost. I met this traditional healer at his shrine, and I did not even say why I had came to his shrine. He knew why I had came to the shrine and gave me some oil in a bottle. He said, take this oil, and he handed that oil to one of his assistants who gave me this oil that was inside this bottle, and he said that I just bath with it before I retire to bed. He said when I had recovered my truck, I should come and see him so that no one will ever steal from me ever again. In 2 days, I received a phone call that my truck had been found. This truck had been found near Nyamapanda border post. My drivers and I rushed to where the truck had been, close to the Zim-Mozambican borders, and it was there with everything. Everything was just there. I heaved a sigh of relief as losing a truck full of bells meant heavy losses. I delivered the bells to the people who had ordered them and went back to that traditional healer, for he had said that I should come back to him after his charms had worked. I did go back, and he gave me a flower, just a flower. Yes, he said to me, as long as the flower will be flourishing and well watered, nothing will ever threaten my business again. He said the flower will be watered using milk only, for it was a special flower. I did not know that this thing that I had done, I had hugged a lion. He had lied to me. Days went by and business continued as usual. I did not face any problems with my merchandise after my consultation with this traditional healer, and I never faced any problem of being hijacked and my goods being stolen. I was giving the flower the attention that it needed. It was not even hard work just to maintain the flowering by giving it milk. It was quite easy. That was all that he had said. He said, this flower, I want you to give it milk. It is going to demand milk from you. Make sure that at all the times that you give it milk. Do you hear, my child? As I was clapping my hands, kneeling down before him, I said, yes, I understand. Yes, I understand. Beside this traditional healer had told me that as long as the flower was well taken care of, I would not have any problems at all. One day I received a call that there was going to be a memorial for my late husband. I said, these people, they have no shame at all. I said angrily to myself after one of my in-laws had sent me a message. Where were they all along? Where do they get the audacity to just call me out of nowhere? Initially, I had decided not to go, but then I thought against it. Let me not give these shameless people a chance. I will not turn out to be like them. They are heartless, but I am not heartless. I am not weak like them. Besides, I was doing it for my late husband, who had been nice to me. However, Asha, my son, was sitting for his exams, and I decided that he would stay behind and concentrate on his examinations. He wanted to study and go to university. He wanted to be a doctor. Each and every time when I would ask him what he wanted to become in life, the career that he wanted to follow in life, he kept on saying that, "Mommy, I want to be a doctor." Even when you would see an advert on TV like of Colgate, he would say, "I want to be a doctor, I want to be a doctor." A day before the memorial service, I said goodbye to my son, for I needed to be in the rural areas in Gokwe before sunset. For navigating the roads going to Gokwe, it is not easy, especially at night during the raining season. I'm sure that people who come from Gokwe, they can be the witness to my story. Our roads, when you are traveling to Gokwe, when it is raining season, it is not quite encouraging. That was the start of my troubles. I arrived in Gokwe and the memorial service was done without any hiccups at all. A cleansing ceremony was also done for me, as I was the one who had lost a husband. I was excited that the next day I will be able to see my beloved son, Aisha. However, the weather seemed not to agree with my plans. It rained so much on that day that the bridges were now impassable. I was hardly at peace thinking about my boy, Asha, the one that I had left behind. I even called the neighbors to check on him now and again, and they assured me that Asha was okay and he was in good spirits. When they told me that the boy is okay, he's busy with his book, I said, wow, that is good. That is good news. The water finally stopped on day 3, which meant I had spent close to a week in Gokwe. When the water levels dropped, I could not wait any longer to go back to my house and to sleep on my bed and to be with my son, my beloved son. Asha was happy to see me all in one piece. When he heard the car as I was driving into the driveway, he kept on saying, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, you are back." He even told me that he had watered the flower in my bedroom because it had started to wither away. When he mentioned the flower in my bedroom, that was when I said, "Oh no, what have I done? What have you done, Asha? Have you entered into my bedroom? I told you not to enter into my bedroom when I am not there. What did you say about the flower?" "You said the flower is withered away. What happened to it? Is it still green?" He then said, "No, Mama, it has turned brown in color because it is no longer alive. It has died. I don't know why. I have tried. He said that he had poured tap water on it, and it seemed as if he was pleased with himself, like he had known how to take care of the plant. I retired to my bedroom. I wanted to cry, but I didn't want my son to suspect that there was something that was wrong. So I quickly went to my bedroom and I locked the door behind him. When I felt that my boy was not okay, I opened the door and I said, "Asha, Asha, where are you?" He then came and I saw that his eyes, they were full of tears because he thought that he had done something wrong. I then handed him the car keys and I said, "Go and wash the car. You can play the radio in the car when you are washing the car, but please do not make a lot of loud music." Brother Nashi, when he went there, I still remember on that day that he was actually singing Ako Kanjiva, Ako Kanjiva. He kept on singing that song as he was washing the car. Brother Nashi, I could not even look at the flower because I knew that this thing that I had done, it was something that the healer had told me not to do. I swear, when I turned around to face the flower, I died at that moment. The flower, Brother Nashi, to my son, it seemed as if the flower had died, but as I was looking at that flower, the flower had not died. It had actually turned into a snake. Yes, it had turned itself into a snake. It was no longer a flower. I said, no, 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 no. As I was kneeling down, I even wanted to pray, but I laughed at myself and I said, what am I actually doing? I am the one who went to a traditional healer. God, why am I even negotiating with God? And I got up on my feet and I said, this cannot be happening. I'm sure that there is a mistake somehow and I must make haste and go to this traditional healer. He'll have an explanation for all that is happening. I arrived at the traditional healer's shrine and explained that the flower that he had given me, all of a sudden, it has changed into a snake. And I do not know what I am supposed to do. But what baffled me the most was that this man, he said that, do not worry, because this snake during the day it is going to be a flower, but during the night it is going to be a snake. Brother Nashi, me and him, we had actually spoken about this issue over the phone. When I went there, that was when he said, show me that snake, show me the snake. I pulled that flower out of my handbag, and it was there it was a flower. I said, it usually changes during the night. Like I told you, I murmured to him, and I had so much sadness in my heart. He said, we will wait for night time so that I can see the flower. I want to see this flower transforming itself into a snake, but do not worry, my child. You are okay. You are safe in this shrine. Night time came, and the flower did not change. It did not become a snake. It remained as a flower. The traditional healer then said, are you still okay? Maybe there is something wrong with your mind. Maybe we can actually perform a ceremony for you so that we can correct this brain of yours that has gone insane. I said, you cannot see this snake, but this snake, it has transformed itself several times. Like I told you over the phone, it has become a snake. The more that I convinced him, the more he thought that I was losing my marbles. And what made me to sound more insane was that as they were playing that traditional instrument that they call mbira, that one, it was like getting inside my head, and the noise was just too much. He was shouting at me because he had his face against my face as he was shouting at me, and I kept on screaming. He then said, did you follow my instructions correctly? He asked. Yes, I replied. Just that when I went for my cleansing ceremony, my son, when I returned, he said that he watered the flower with water instead of milk. He then got up from where he was like squatting right next to me, and he said, there you are, bingo. I strictly said milk, not water. As he kept on pointing his walking stick that he used in his consultation room. Go back to where you come from, and when you want to return my flower, it must be a flower. Do you remember that when you came at my shrine, I gave you a flower? I never gave you a snake. This snake of yours, it is only you that can see this snake. I cannot accept this thing. I felt defeated, and the journey back home was a very long one, a very long one. I wish that I had never consulted with this traditional healer. If I had known what I know now, I would have sold my house and covered this debt, not this mess that I had gotten myself into. At night, what happens right now is that this snake, it becomes intimate with me. It has sex with me as if I am in a trance. Usually when it happens, I can actually feel the snake. This snake, it actually stays in this side. This snake, it actually stays in this big tree that is there in my yard. And each and every time at night, I'll start to have a dream. In this dream, I will walk to the front door, then I'll open the front door, then I'll start to whistle. Then I'll see that snake as it will be climbing down from the tree. Then it will follow me to my bedroom. Then I'll be caught in a trance as this snake will be having sex with me. I can't even move any limb on my body. If I refuse to be intimate with it, it punishes me by wrapping itself around my body as if it is trying to suffocate the life out of me. I would wake up with visible marks on my body as if I am dying slowly but surely. The traditional healer said that the only way to reverse this curse was to feed it with blood, sacrifice the person that is closest to my heart. When he said that for us to reverse this curse, we need to give it blood so that it can forget this wrong that we have done against it. Sacrifice anyone that you love the most. I said, no, that cannot be done. Aisha cannot become a sacrifice. If I sacrifice my own son, then what am I going to live for? not in this lifetime or the next. I would rather die. I would rather die than to watch my son pay for my own sins and to suffer for his mother's mistakes. I thought that I was escaping poverty, but I was like a pig that had fried itself with its own fat. I made a stupid decisions that were costing my sanity. I am now waiting for the day that my spirit leaves my body so that I rest for the snake that is tormenting me day and night. If I could, and if only I could turn back the hands of time. There was this other time when I was traveling back to Kokwe. I just felt so scared because I was supposed to travel through the night. I then picked up these 4 people, and these 4 people that I picked up, they kept on praising me, and they said that you have such a beautiful car. They asked me if I was married or not. When I said no, I am not married. And the other women, they were like, you see, even when you are not married, you can achieve this high standard of life. I wanted to cry, Brother Nash. Whenever I felt like crying, I would look to the side and open my window so that the wind can carry the tears that were flowing on my face. Oh, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me. It comes from one of our dear listeners.